To use a simple analogy, life is very much like a combination lock, only with more numbers. If you turn to the right numbers in the right sequence, the lock will open for you. It's not a miracle, nor does it depend on luck. It doesn't even matter who you are, as long as you have the right numbers. By the same token, there's a proper combination of thoughts and actions you can follow to accomplish almost anything you really want. And you can find that combination if you search for it. Health, wealth, happiness, success, and peace of mind are all amenable to the same principle. If you do the right things in the right way, you'll get the results you desire. If you can determine exactly what it is you want, you can find out how others have achieved it before you. If you then do the same things they've done, you'll get the same results they have. This secret of success is so simple that it's overlooked by most people. Whatever you want, you can have, if you want it badly enough, and if you're willing to persist long enough and hard enough in doing what others have done to accomplish similar things before you. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, male or female, black or white. It doesn't matter if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth or if you came from a deprived background. Nature is neutral. She gives you back what you put in, no more and no less. There's an old fable that illustrates this point. Many years ago in ancient Greece, a traveler met an old man on the road and asked him how to get to Mount Olympus. The old man, who happened to be Socrates, replied by saying, "If you really want to get to Mount Olympus, just make sure that every step you take is in that direction." The moral of the story is simple. If you want to be successful and happy, make sure that your every thought and every action are taking you in that direction and not somewhere else. Sir Isaac Newton is generally considered to be the greatest scientist who ever lived. His breakthroughs in mathematics and physics and other areas laid the groundwork for the modern age. In his later years, he was asked how it was that he, one man, had managed to make such significant contributions to the world of science. He replied, "By thinking of nothing else." In its simplest terms, success begins with you exercising your power of choice and using it to take systematic, purposeful control over the thoughts you hold in your conscious mind. By rigorously disciplining yourself to think and talk only about what you want, and by refusing to dwell upon the things that you don't want, you begin your journey toward the stars. Most people spend their lives in a form of sleep. They go busily about their daily activities, almost totally preoccupied by a continuous stream of disorganized thought. You've experienced this phenomenon when you've gotten into your car and driven to work or across town, lost in thought, with almost no memory of the trip at all. Many of your habitual routines and conversations take place with a low level of awareness, almost as if you were in a mental fog, and with your having little or no recollection of the particular flow of events. Sometimes this preoccupation is deliberate. You use it to avoid thinking about parts of your life that you'd rather not confront or deal with. Sometimes it is simply automatic. You've been going through the motions for so long that your thought processes are unthinking. You only wake up temporarily when you are shocked or surprised, as when you're cut off in traffic or scared or caught off guard. But as soon as you recover your composure, you slip back into the warm, gentle stream of waking sleep, where your thoughts just flow past amid a continual collage of feelings and images. Now, to become all you can be, you must live more consciously. You must become more alert, more aware, and more awake. You must take more control over your thought processes so that you move in the direction of your own choosing rather than steering blindly on mental autopilot, as most people do. You begin the process of awakening by reflecting on your life, past, present, and future. As an exercise in awareness, start by imagining that before you were born, somewhere on the other side of the cosmos, you had evolved over many lifetimes to become a particular type of person with a particular set of qualities, interests, talents, and abilities. Now, it doesn't matter what you think about the idea of reincarnation. This exercise is just that. It's an exercise with a point that will become clear later. Continuing this line of thought, imagine that you deliberately chose your parents, that you chose the situation you were born into and brought up in. You did this because at your stage of personal growth and evolution, there were specific lessons about yourself, about life, and about other people that you had to learn. And which you could learn in no other way. Imagine also that the person you are today, especially the good qualities you've developed, evolved largely or partially as the result of the problems you've had with one or both of your parents. Here's an important question. If you learned that you had deliberately chosen your parents, and the person you are today has come about as a direct result of your choice, how would this discovery change your attitude towards your parents and the experiences of your childhood? Would you be more positive and accepting of them? Would you see yourself and your past experiences in a different light? Would you become more philosophical and objective toward what might have appeared up to now to have been a difficult time in your life? As you begin to think about this idea, about having deliberately chosen your parents, you begin to see possibilities that you had totally ignored up to now. Instead of seeing yourself as a passive agent or a victim caught up in circumstances beyond your control, you begin to see yourself as an active participant in your own evolution. Let's take this exercise a little further. Imagine that you are here on this earth to do something wonderful with your life, to become an exceptional person and to make an important contribution to your world. Imagine that this is all part of a great master plan that has been carefully designed with your best interests in mind, and that every event and circumstance of your life is an indispensable part of a big jigsaw puzzle, the outline of which you can only begin to see when you stand back and start to look at your life from a higher plane or a greater distance. Assume that whatever your current situation or difficulty, it is exactly what you require right now to teach you something that you need to know before you can continue on your upward journey. With this perspective, you can see that every experience is a positive experience if you choose to view it as an opportunity for growth and self-mastery. Now, project backward and with calmness, clarity, and a positive mental attitude, think about how every previous experience and situation of your life might have been sent to you at exactly the right time to teach you something you needed to learn so that you could continue moving toward the wonderful life that awaits you. Imagine that the events of your life could not have been otherwise than they were, especially if you were operating on autopilot most of the time. As you stand back and appreciate the incredibly complex interconnectedness of events that have brought you to where you are in life right now, you will begin to develop the perspective of the philosopher. You will begin to superimpose on your experience what is called a sense of coherence, an attitude and a feeling that your life is part of something greater than yourself and that everything fits together and happens for a reason. As you think of your life as a series of events and experiences that are conspiring toward your achieving some great goal or making some great contribution to mankind, you begin to develop a sense of destiny, the hallmark of potential greatness as a human being. Your job in taking control of your life and your future is to become the conductor of your own orchestra. You must take control of the internal and external aspects of your life and get them all playing in harmony around a central theme of your own choosing. Your job is to play beautiful music with your life and to make your life a great performance. You do this by keying in to the immutable mental laws of the universe. All real and lasting success comes from organizing your life in harmony with these general principles. The first law is the law of control. The law of control says that you feel positive about yourself to the degree to which you feel you are in control of your own life. You feel negative about yourself to the degree to which you feel you are not in control or that you're controlled by some external force or person or influence. You apply the law of control by choosing consciously to view yourself as an active, creative influence in your own life. When you take mental control, you place your hands firmly on the steering wheel of your own destiny. You become the architect of your own future. The second law is the law of cause and effect. This law says that for every effect in your life, there is a specific cause. Everything happens for a reason. There are no accidents. There are specific causes of success, and there are specific causes of failure. There are specific causes for happiness and for unhappiness. Whatever you sow, you will reap. Whatever you're reaping today is the result of what you've sown in the past. If you wish to reap a different harvest in any area of your life in the future, then you plant different seeds today. The third law is the law of belief. The law of belief says that whatever you believe with feeling becomes your reality. For example, if you absolutely believe that you are meant to be a great success in life, then no matter what happens, you will continue to press forward towards your goals. Nothing will stop you. On the other hand, if you believe that success is a matter of luck or accident, then you'll easily become discouraged and disappointed whenever things don't work out for you. Your beliefs set you up for either success or failure. You trigger the law of belief in your own life by accepting that your life and your experiences are leading you toward the accomplishment of something important. The more you believe this, the more likely it is to come true for you. Your beliefs do become your realities. The fourth law is the law of expectations. This law says that whatever you expect with confidence becomes your own self-fulfilling prophecy. What you get is not necessarily what you want in life, but what you expect. Successful men and women have an attitude of confident, positive self-expectancy. They expect to be successful. They expect to be liked. They expect to be happy in advance, and they're seldom disappointed. Unsuccessful people have an attitude of negative expectations, of cynicism and pessimism and negativity that somehow causes situations to work out exactly as they expected as well. You apply the law of expectations in your own life by confidently expecting to gain something worthwhile from everything that happens to you. Make your life into an adventure. Just imagine if you went around all day believing that something wonderful was about to happen to you. Think how much more positive, optimistic, and cheerful you'd be if you were absolutely convinced that everything was conspiring to make you happy and successful. Your expectations would quickly become self-fulfilling prophecies. The fifth law is the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that you are a living magnet. You invariably attract into your life people and situations in harmony with your dominant thoughts. Happy people seem to attract other happy people. A person with a prosperity consciousness seems to attract money-making ideas and opportunities. Optimistic, enthusiastic salespeople attract bigger and better customers. The law of attraction works everywhere, all the time. Everything you have in your life is because of the person you are. You can have more, be more, and do more because you can change the person you are. You can discipline yourself by keeping your thoughts on what you want and refusing to think about what you don't want. The more you think of yourself and your life as uniquely blessed and important, the more you attract to yourself the ideas, opportunities, and people that make your dreams come true. The sixth law is the law of correspondence. This law says that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Your outer world of relationships corresponds to the person you really are inside, your true inner personality. Your outer world of health corresponds to your inner attitudes of mind. Your outer world of income and financial achievement corresponds to your inner world of thought and preparation. Therefore, when you strive to see yourself as a special person put on this earth with a special purpose, your outer world of relationships, health, work, and material accomplishments will begin to reflect these inner attitudes of your mind. The seventh law is the law of subconscious activity. This law says that any idea or thought that you accept as true in your conscious mind will be accepted without question by your subconscious mind. Your subconscious will immediately begin working to bring it into your reality, making all your words, feelings, actions, and even your body language fit a pattern consistent with your dominant thoughts and your goals. The eighth law is the law of concentration. The law of concentration says that whatever you dwell upon grows. The more you think about something, the more it becomes part of your reality. More and more of your mental and emotional energies are devoted to bringing it into your life. You apply the law of concentration in your own life by dwelling continually on thoughts of courage, confidence, hope, love, and on the wonderful future that life has in store for you. Take time each day to sit and soak your mind in positive and uplifting thoughts, knowing that whatever you dwell upon long enough and hard enough will eventually materialize in the world around you. The ninth law is the law of substitution. The law of substitution says that your conscious mind can only hold one thought at a time, and that you can substitute one thought for another. This crowding out principle allows you to deliberately replace a negative thought with a positive thought. Because of this law, you can take control of your emotional life. You can choose to think about something uplifting, like your goals, whenever you're faced with a situation that would normally upset you. You can stop talking and thinking about the problem and start talking and thinking about the solution. You can focus your mind on what can be done in the future rather than what has happened in the past. Remember, you can do anything you put your mind to. Your greatest need is to be patient, calm, and trusting. Whatever you want wants you. Whatever you desire is moving toward you right now, just as you are moving toward it. Your primary job is to get out of your own way by applying these mental laws so that they work for you in every area of your life. Here's an action exercise for you. Take a sheet of paper and make a list of all the things that you want to see in your life. Write down everything: happiness, health, good friends, travel, prosperity, recognition. Let your imagination run freely. Now, here's the hard part. For the next 24 hours, think and talk only about the things on your list. See if you can get through one entire day without criticizing, condemning, complaining, or getting angry, upset, or worried about anything. See if you have the willpower and strength of character to think about only what you want for one whole day. This exercise will give you a real insight into where you are in your development, and it will also show you how far you have yet to go. The starting point of personal liberation is for you to accept complete responsibility for who you are and for everything that you become. You must accept without reservation that you are where you are and what you are because of yourself. If you want things to change, then you must change first. Because of the mental laws we just discussed, your thinking determines your attitude, your conduct, and your behavior, and they in turn largely determine your success or failure in life. You can dream big dreams, learn how to control both your conscious and subconscious mind, and improve your self-concept and performance. But none of these efforts will give you any lasting benefit until you embrace the concept of personal responsibility. When I was 20 years old, having failed out of high school, I was living in a tiny one-room apartment and working as a construction laborer in the middle of a very cold winter. I had almost no money. I was far from whatever home I'd had, and I wasn't planning to go back. One night, as I sat alone at my little kitchen table in my studio apartment, it suddenly dawned on me that everything that I would ever become was completely up to me. No one else was going to do it for me. That revelation suddenly opened my eyes. I had a flash of clarity. I was never completely the same again. During our formative years, yours and mine, it's normal and natural that our parents provide for us. The problems begin when people come into adulthood with the unconscious expectation that somewhere, somehow, someone else is still responsible for them and for their situation. But from the age of 18 onward, and sometimes earlier, you are in the driver's seat. You are the architect of your own destiny. Whether or not your parents have succeeded in raising you as a totally self-reliant individual, from that moment forward, there's no looking back. Everything you are, everything you become from then on, is up to you. In one of Tolstoy's short stories, he writes about a group of children who are told that the secret of happiness is hidden in the backyard of their home. They will be able to find it and possess it forever as long as they refrain from doing one thing. The one thing is they must not think about a white rabbit while they're searching for the secret. Now, each time the children go out to search for the secret, they try not to think about a white rabbit, but the harder they try, the more they think about a white rabbit, and of course, they never do find the secret of happiness. The point is that everyone has a white rabbit, and sometimes many white rabbits. These are the excuses that you use to avoid setting clear goals and making total commitments to the things you really want. Some of the most popular white rabbits that people use as excuses are self-limiting ideas such as, I'm too young, or I'm too old, or I don't have any money, or I don't have enough education, or I can't do it because of my boss, my children, my parents, or someone or something else. What are your personal white rabbits? What are your favorite excuses for not making the changes that you know are necessary if you're going to achieve your goals and fulfill your dreams? Go rabbit hunting in your own life. Root them out and run them down. Carefully analyze them to see if they have any validity. Here's a simple way to test your excuses. Ask yourself, is there anyone, anywhere with my problem or limitation who has succeeded in spite of it? If the answer is yes, then you know that your excuse is not valid. What one person has done, someone else can do as well. The disease of excusitis is invariably fatal to success. If you have it, resolve to get over it right away before it sabotages all your hopes for success and achievement in life. The acceptance of complete responsibility, the giving up of your excuses, is not easy. It's one of the hardest things you'll ever attempt. That's why most people never do it. It's like making a parachute jump for the first time. It's both scary and exhilarating. When you cast free from your excuses like leaping out of the plane, you suddenly feel completely alone, completely vulnerable. However, in a few moments you start to feel a rush of excitement. Your heart starts pounding fast and you feel remarkably happy and free. Self-responsibility is the core quality of the fully mature, fully functioning, self-actualizing individual. Superior men and women take both the credit and the blame for everything that happens to them. People who are failures take credit for their successes, but they blame their problems on bad luck or other people or circumstances beyond their control.